Today's episode of the Talkhouse Podcast, and in fact, all of the Talkhouse Podcasts recorded backstage at Pitchfork Festival 2017, is brought to you in part by Shure. Here at the Talkhouse, this is our first collaboration with Shure, but we've been using their microphones from the very beginning. If you go to our YouTube channel and watch any of our full episodes, you'll see any of the artists there. The Flaming Lips, Wayne Coyne, DJ Premier, Prince Paul, Kathleen Hanna, Meredith Graves, Todd Barry, Chris Gethard, Fab Moretti of The Strokes, David Cross. They're all using Shure microphones. It's because it's all we've used the whole time. They're the best. Shure also just released its Motive microphone series. Shure's Motive microphones are specifically designed for your podcasting needs. And in fact, loyal listeners, if you recall the recent episode featuring LCD Sound System's Tyler Pope in conversation with Thurston Moore, Tyler's intro conversation was recorded by him in Europe just after walking off stage with the band, with the Motive plugged directly into his phone. It sounds amazing, and so will your podcast recorded with Motive. What's up? This is Elia Einhorn. Welcome to the Talkhouse Podcast. Today I'm joined by...
Hey, I'm Amy Rose Spiegel, Talkhouse Music's editor-in-chief. Thanks for having me, Elia.
Thank you for joining me. I could not be more excited about today's episode. Today we have Leticia Tamko, a.k.a. Vagabon, who put out one of my favorite records of the year so far, in conversation with my absolute favorite current artist, Greta Klein, a.k.a. Frankie Cosmos.
We caught up with these two at Pitchfork Festival this past summer, and we recorded their conversation as the first in a series that we're doing with artists that played or hung out at the fest with us.
This is our third year collaborating with Pitchfork Fest on this. The Talkhouse sets up backstage in a trailer and records in-depth conversations between artists that are, like you say, playing or just swinging by the festival to hang. Shouts to Pitchfork for always putting on an amazing fest. This year, they had a lot of artists that we've had on our podcast recently. LCD Sound System, A Tribe Called Quest, George Clinton.
Yeah, and joining those ranks today is Vagabon, who we caught up with just before her set. Her record, Infinite Worlds, came out earlier this year on Father-Daughter Records.
A label that's been putting out a lot of my favorite records. Lisa Prank, Shamir.
I mean, they've been killing it. And for proof, let's listen to The Embers from Vagabond's most recent. So good.
So good.
And the funny thing about this record is that our other guest, Greta Klein from Frankie Cosmos, actually collaborated with Leticia.
Yeah, Greta sings some backup here. And a little bit about Greta Klein. Greta is insanely prolific. Under a number of different band names, she's released over 50 Bandcamp records. Frankie Cosmos have recently released a couple records. There was 2014's Zentropy, my favorite album of the year, followed by last year's Next Thing. Let's take a listen to the fantastic Sinister from that record.
So you went home and shut me out, and I grew up backseats and mouths, wearing suits and other shit. I'm glad I don't remember it. Sometimes I get sinister, can't
Yeah, it's a beautiful song and a beautiful record.
It really is. Greta Klein is also a very beautiful person. We've become great friends. Now, as many of our listeners know, my wife works for Pitchfork. I do a ton of work for Pitchfork. We were not able to come to the festival this year because our daughter Conway had just been born, but we did watch Auntie Greta and our dear friends Frankie Cosmos via the live stream. Their set was amazing.
And I guess that's something else that they have in common with Vagabond, who also killed it at the fest this year. So these two, in their conversation, find a lot to talk about, of course. They basically go over what they call a day in the life of a touring musician.
Totally. This talk really takes in what it's like to be a mid-sized indie artist in 2017.
Yeah, I was really interested when they talked about what that means in terms of, for example, doing your own merch and setting up boundaries with fans, whom you have a lot of time with, for better and sometimes for worse.
Right. And then they go into the opposite, where we talk about bands existing more as a brand than an actual music entity.
And for something completely different, they also talk about what is probably a big influence on all of us, aka Kimya Dawson of the Moldy Peaches Live Journal.
Totally. Shouts to Kimya. Shouts to an awesome Talkhouse talk. Let's roll it.
Let's do it.
So, how was your day yesterday?
It was really fun and kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's really this is the biggest festival that I've ever played, I think.
Wow.
So it was crazy.
Did you see anyone yesterday?
I honestly didn't watch any music.
Okay. That's
I
real.
always like to try and think if this were an interview, I would lie. But since it's you, I'll just tell you I didn't watch anything.
I love it. I love the honesty.
Yeah. Well, how was your day? I heard that you drove really late.
I drove from Detroit to Chicago overnight. It was hard.
It's wild. Did you play in Detroit last night?
Played in Detroit last night.
Where was it?
At El Club.
I can't remember if I played there or if I've just heard of it. I think I heard of it because last time we played in Detroit, there was a better band playing at El Club. And everyone was like, no one's at your show because everyone's at El Club.
Oh no.
I was like, I hope we play there someday.
Oh my God, you can play there easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
How was it?
It was good. It was good. It was really interesting to see how different audiences receive different kinds of music. Yeah, just I think I'm realizing that there are a lot of music listener and show goers, and some of them are there to spend $16 to watch a show, and some are okay spending $16 or more to just watch a show, but also hang out and socialize and
drink and get rowdy and only watch the band that they came to see.
Yeah. It's an interesting culture.
Yeah. I feel we recently just did basically our first opening tour, and it was really different. Just being oh, not everyone's here to see us.
Right. Yeah.
Really
was that with Real
weird.
Estate?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was really fun, and their fans are much better than our fans. I was
awesome.
I was oh, everyone here is actually pretty respectful and watching the opening band and stuff. And but I can't imagine opening for I don't know, even in the old days when I was playing in Porches and we would do double headline or whatever, Frankie opening for Porches, even then being the opening band, it's people really only want to watch the headlining.
It's so
band.
interesting. When I just did those couple shows with Tegan and Sarah, and those are the biggest shows that I had ever played, and their audience is super attentive. Yeah. And it made me wonder.
They paid a lot of money.
They paid a lot of money.
Their money's worth.
Right. They did pay a lot of money. And just I think that band specifically has instilled in the people that listen to them that they pick who to bring on support. It's not their label, it's not their people. Mm-hmm. And so I think their audience watching them watch us was like an open door of you should like this because your favorite band likes this or something. Which is still really strange, but I guess nice.
I feel that's a really unique position to be in, to get
the best way that could go.
Get to spread your taste to your fans.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awesome.
Yeah, the hope is that a headliner is curating the show in a way that they know that their fans will be receptive to it.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally. It's cool. It's crazy that Tegan and Sarah are so aware of our little scene.
I know.
I just remember a year ago seeing that they were following all of my friends on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was whoa, they know what's up.
They really do. And they hang all the time, and even the people that they talk about, they're so do you know J-Som and Frankie Cosmos and Julie Burn, just name dropping all. I'm how do you know this?
That's awesome.
And so it's pretty cool that our little community is actually not as little as we thought.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or just that you can get really big and still be aware of
that's
indie music that's not, I don't know. I feel it's really easy to get tunnel vision towards just what you're doing.
Yeah.
I feel I don't listen to I don't listen to new music or if
it's hard.
I don't know.
I feel it's harder to, even with touring and opening bands, when we were doing, I don't know if you shared this experience, but when we were doing DIY touring and just booking it ourselves and playing in basements, you would see so much more local music because there was kind of like, you weren't really shielded off from like the process of it being booked. But I feel like as you like move on into like, it's more demanding.
Well, it's like now there's like a promoter who's like, oh, you know, who's a local opener that's like gonna draw.
Yeah, right.
Not like who lives at the house that you're playing at, and their band is gonna open, and you're gonna like find something really special.
And sometimes I've played so many shows that there's just no opener.
Really?
Like at all.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, then I'm just hearing myself and I'm not discovering anything new, exciting.
Yeah. Even just like the setting, I feel like, of being at a club show, or even at like, I mean, honestly, like a festival is the closest thing to like actually having like a more social experience. But if you play at a club, it's like you're just like in a green room. Like there's just like, it's not like the barrier is like really apparent between you and like everyone that you could be making friends with.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. If you have a place to hide away from, you will.
Yeah. Although I definitely like, it's so weird that I'm someone who loves being in a green room, but that's like very new for me.
Yeah. I was just talking about that to someone yesterday of like what the new normal is.
Yeah.
And like knowing how much grinding happens before this becomes your new normal of, oh, there's a room to like retreat to afterwards, or you can kind of decide to like not immediately engage, or not immediately go to the merch table and like protect yourself a little more.
I feel like those decisions of like, oh, I'm going to protect my like self, or I'm going to like save my energy or something, or like that's not my inclination. Like I have to force myself to be like, I'm going to rest my voice. I'm going to not do merch before I play or something.
Yeah.
That's like that's like a business decision. It's like, oh, I want to do a good show. Like I have to like go rest my voice.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always really funny when people are like, you do your own merch. It's like, yeah.
Like, are we going to pay someone to come do it? That's what I always say to people. I'm like, did you think I was going to like rent a bigger car and bring another person and like pay them? Like, how big do you think we are?
Yeah, that's definitely the thing. When I'm not big enough to have like or I don't know.
I'm also like obsessed with doing our merch, and like my band has to like stop me from doing all of it. Like they have to be like, no, we're gonna do some, because otherwise I drive myself crazy.
That's probably good though. I imagine people that come to your shows love that.
Yeah, I think that like it's actually like not good for me. I feel like I was like, oh, like I feel like I'm obsessed with doing it because I like want I need everyone to like me, and like I like people being like, oh my god, you do your own merch, like I love it. Just like I need I need people to tell me that like I'm like cool, like like so I'm just like forcing myself to do my own merch all the time, and then if I don't do it, I'm like, oh man, like everyone thinks I'm a brat, like I got to go do merch. It's
See,
a really bad
that comes
addiction.
with like a whole other thing of like, am I like a bitch if I decide to opt out of this thing? Yeah.
Or even just like, am I a bitch if I like make any kind of boundary between myself and like the person that's trying to grab me?
Right. Then the answer is no.
Yeah. That's new for me too. It's being like, oh, I don't need to like let you like hug me, strange person.
Yeah.
But I don't like the idea of people thinking that they can't like talk to me, but it's a weird like fine line. I don't know. I remember like 10 years ago seeing on like Kimya Dawson's live journal this thing about like
deep cut.
And I remember at the time like not really understanding it, and then years later remembering it and being like, oh, I get that now. She like wrote this thing about like you can't hug me, like just because you like my music, like you shouldn't get to hug me, and like I love you, and like that's cool, but like whatever. It was really like, it's really interesting. It's like, oh, that's weird. Like, why doesn't she want to hug every single person that wants to hug her? And now I'm like, oh, because like everyone wants to hug her. It's really interesting.
It's nice because I think the people that come to our shows maybe are super respectful of that, and also just like would probably ask and like be okay with the no.
Most people.
But
you'd be surprised. I'm surprised every time. I'm surprised by how many people don't ask.
Maybe I'm just giving them too much credit.
Even like at like even at like a really, you know, nice, you know, political seeming, like cool, like little college where everyone seems like they know what's up. I'll get like women kissing me, and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, how do you not know that this is wrong?
Yeah.
But I think the further away that you get from people, the less human they like see you. They're like, oh, you're an object.
I wonder. Yeah, that's so strange.
Yeah. See, that's why I have to do merch all the time, so that I remind them that I'm a person.
Yeah, a person
Just
behind
like
the table.
you. Yeah.
That makes sense.
But definitely really weird to be at a festival like this where you're so far away, like so far removed from the audience, and you're like up on a big stage.
Oh, is that true? I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't even walked in yet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's freaky in there. It's cool though.
I'm excited. This is my first time.
It'll be fun.
Here.
It's cool because you get to be here. Like, are you gonna stay like all day after you play?
Yeah, I have
go
to do a
take a
bunch
nap.
of stuff.
Really?
Definitely gonna take a nap. But playing the after show tonight.
Oh, that's
just
tonight?
Late. Yeah. Damn. So nap required.
Disco nap.
Disco nap. Very, very boring.
Yeah. No, I'm all about it. Just like I was saying before, like just making every decision based on like health and comfort and not on like being cool at all.
Yeah. It's crucial.
But it was really weird. Yeah, I was here like all day yesterday, but I was doing press for like 3 hours, so I didn't like actually see any music. And then I just went on stage. It was really like
I feel like that's
weird.
going to be a little bit like my experience, but I want to see George Clinton so bad.
sick.
So hopefully I could do that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get to
It's kind of insane.
wander a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's the best day. No offense to the other days, but when I saw the lineup, I was like, what the hell? Why am I not playing Saturday?
I
Like,
know.
not
I wish you
fair.
were playing Saturday
I
too.
know.
So we can
I
hang
have
out
to
all day.
go. I have to like go fly. But
So what do you do? What do you do next?
today,
Like
just in
today
life?
yeah, today and in life.
Today we're flying home. Well, after this, we're getting breakfast with our label man.
Nice.
Because
I hope they pay for it.
Oh yeah,
You're the talent.
we were supposed to have dinner on Thursday, but our flight was super delayed, like to the point where we missed dinner.
Yeah.
It was like really upsetting, and so now doing it this morning, but
That's great.
flying home and then resting for like 4 days, and then we're going to Europe and we're going to play that
Yeah,
festival
we're
there
seeing
together.
each other in France.
So
oh my god, that's
crazy.
gonna be insane.
And you're going to use my guitar, right?
And I'm gonna use you.
So excited.
Traveling with
That's
a
going
guitar
to be like
is
an
my
iconic
nightmare.
moment for me, like seeing you use my guitar.
I'm very excited. Thank you.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know if you've had this, but I like pinched myself several times of like, am I really going to the south of France to play a show? Like,
Until you get there, it's like not going to feel real.
it doesn't feel like a real thing that
I feel like that
I
too.
get to do.
We're playing like some really crazy. Are you just doing that show?
I'm just doing that
and then
show.
flying home.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Damn.
It feels really luxurious to just fly to France for a
That's
minute.
awesome. Have you done like a Europe tour yet?
I did UK,
UK.
and like Paris.
Cool. Oh yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to go back there. Do a
Yeah.
little.
I couldn't eat anything in Paris.
Oh yeah, because you're vegan.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
was
I
hard.
even broke vegetarian in Paris one time.
See?
And I've been vegetarian for like 10 years. I had a ham
God.
sandwich.
Wow.
Jambon. I was like, give me the jambon. Like, I'll try it.
Paris is for breaking edge.
feel like you have
all
to.
edge. It's not.
I know. Yeah, what are you going to eat?
Well, my family is like,
Are they vegan?
no, they're not. But I like grew up, it's like I don't even know if it's a Parisian thing, but it was like my family in Paris thing of like hot milk and cornflakes. It's really strange. So I lived off of that in
Are you
Paris.
gonna have that?
And bread. Yeah.
Oh, you can have milk.
I can
you
have
just-
almond milk.
Oh, almond milk.
Yeah.
All right.
I love how you said almond milk.
Almond milk. That's not milk, but I'll accept it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It'll work.
That sounds good.
yeah.
I get sick every time I go to Europe.
Why?
I'm not going to say with what, but every time I go to Europe, I get a certain sickness, one certain sickness every single time.
I'm not going to say
Yeah.
what.
I'm not going to say what here. I'll tell you later. But
Oh my God.
yeah, I can't wait to go back to Europe and just have different water
Yeah,
in a different country like every day and
Yeah.
just get sick. My body just doesn't like change. Like
Yeah.
it's really
So do you like allow for like a cushion time for that? When you're traveling? No.
Actually, we give ourselves like 1 day for jet lag.
Yeah.
Actually, we're flying in. I can't remember where our first show is, but it's like maybe our first show is the show with you.
Yeah.
And we're giving ourselves like a day just like on the beach to just like lay with jet lag and just like
the day after?
The day before.
The day before. I'll be
We're flying
there.
on the 20th. Really?
Me too.
Wait, you're flying on the 20th?
Yeah.
Where from?
I'm going on vacation, dog. This is
Or maybe we're on the same flight.
I know, right? I have no idea, to be honest.
Damn. Let's check out our flight stats after this.
That would be great. I'm glad that you're going to be there for longer, though, because I really want to enjoy the beach and not just work.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we're actually playing on, it's not the only beach that we're playing on. We're playing on a beach at the end of the tour, too, in Croatia.
Holy shit.
So we're like giving a cushion day on the whole tour and having like beach days. It's going to be really.
Is that the first time you would have gone to Croatia?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is this all firsts?
Well, we're going to London and stuff
Yeah.
and Ireland, but it's like last time we played in Dublin, we played like a festival. This time it's a club show. So it's like, it feels like it's like a new tour.
A new thing, yeah, for sure.
It'll be fun, but definitely going to some places we played before.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, man. This
Us
is
in
gonna
the
be
south
fun.
of France is going to be great.
I know.
Can't wait to hang.
Wow. Can't wait to, I have so much mom South of France clothes that I never get to wear.
Ooh, I haven't even thought about my clothes. I don't even know what the weather's like there.
I know. I'm like constantly thinking about my clothes.
My band's like, every time that we go on tour, my whole band packed a swimsuit except for me. Like I never remember to pack a swimsuit.
Yeah.
And then like the one tour that I packed one was for some reason I packed one on the real estate tour and we didn't swim. I was like, I don't know, it's like May, like it's like the summer. It was not at all. So this time I'm just like, that's the only thing on my list to pack is like swimsuit.
Tell it how fucked you are. Up in morning, down at dawn, or my vocals. Sing a song, sit in car, read a book, rest on base, or chips I love.
Have you ever thought about taking improv classes?
No.
No? Hear me out.
I would do it with you.
Yeah, I've just recently started thinking about that because on stage
I've heard it's like
I'm
really
real
creative,
awkward. Yeah.
like brain.
Exactly. I want to be able to be like really on my feet, especially when I'm on stage and stuff. And like, it's so natural for me not to talk to the audience.
Yeah.
Just because like I don't. Everything I have to say are like in those songs, you know. Like I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
Totally.
But I want to be good at like.
I'm really bad at banter. Like my band hates me. They're just like, shut up. Like.
But you try at least.
Yeah.
You try.
You know,
I feel like.
Yeah.
I
Do you ever
feel like
say
you're
like
funny.
this song's about blah blah blah?
I don't.
I'm not into that.
I'm not into
I feel like when
that.
people say that, I'm like, why did you make a song? If you can just tell me what it's about, like why are you even like playing it?
Yeah. And I feel like the instances of that where I've appreciated it is when they're kind of talking about like a very specific like struggle.
Sure.
Or like I recently just had a band Loon from Western Mass
I've
open
heard of
for
them.
me, and they like did that for their last song where they were talking about trans identity and like how this song relates to that or how it healed them or whatever. And I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
Like it adds some context.
It's
But
also cool
you don't
because it's
always
like
need context.
spreading like a message
Exactly.
to your like audience that maybe
Right.
they
It's
wouldn't
also
be like
like a
hearing
teaching.
otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have
exactly.
anything to share that's
Yeah,
gonna like help people.
Right. I feel like if I described my songs, it wouldn't be like a teaching experience. It would just be like,
Mine would just be really vengeful. I'd be like, this song's about like this asshole who like broke my heart. You know, like,
yeah,
it's not
and then
worth it.
everyone would like talk about it. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. I don't want to do that. I don't want to like slander anyone or not slander them. Just spread the truth about them. Like, why do that?
Ooh, damn, shots.
I'd rather, but you just, that's what the song is for.
That's true. Yeah, I'm not into. Do
I
you
like to make
ever-
jokes about what the song's about. You know,
That's a good
that's
way
the
to do
only
it.
thing I can do.
I'm not very witty like that.
I have a question for you, like
yeah.
a true, like, serious question. Like,
Okay.
do you ever feel like when you're doing something that you're like, that it would be like a cool thing to say that you did, like for your like next album cycle, like for interviews?
It depends what the thing is.
Like if you took improv classes, wouldn't you
Yeah.
be like, it would be like, oh, Leticia, who's like so multifaceted, she like took improv. You know what I mean? Like you think
Yeah.
about like how it would sound. Like
You're right.
it's really fucked me
I feel like
Just
I
like-
wouldn't. I feel like I probably wouldn't disclose that all that much.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you know, 1,000,001 people are going to ask
Totally.
me, so what was taking improv like?
I feel like that's like the only thing that gets me to like exercise is being like, next album cycle, I want to be like, yeah, like I also box. Like I want to like start spreading that rumor about myself.
Oh my
like,
God.
Like I want it to be part of my like persona. Yeah. And it's the only reason I exercise.
Like, yo, Greta box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I want like just to look really tough and have everybody like be scared of me next album.
Because you've been boxing for a while now.
I know. Well, I also took a really long break because I was on tour for so long.
Yeah.
And then when I'd come home, it'd be like 2 weeks at home. I'd be like, I'll just rest, you know? So now it's been like a while.
Oh, no.
But I feel like I'm going to pick it up like before the next album cycle so I can say that I've been doing it. Like,
I love that. I love
it's
that
actually good for me.
Working out is like cool in the scope of things.
Well, I think like health is like a good thing to spread.
Yeah.
I feel like we both have like the unique position of like youngsters, you know, we can affect them in a positive way. Like, hey, like exercise.
Right.
Like,
exercising
care about
was cool,
your life,
even
you know?
if you like rock music.
I feel like I was really nihilistic as a teenager. Like I like the idea of like spreading to teens to like not be like that. Be like, oh no, like life is awesome. Like you should exercise.
You should exercise. Yeah, and also just like
exercise and buzz your head.
Oh yeah, we should tell everyone to buzz their head the way
I feel
we
like
did.
so many teens like already are so much cooler than me. Like I feel like every teen has like has a buzzed head and is like really in touch with just like reality.
They're reading. A lot of the good ones are just reading and know a lot.
Yeah.
They know a lot.
That's good that kids are still reading. Like I even read on my phone now. Like
me too.
It's really, you read on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? Bring like 4 books on tour with you? You know, it's like,
it's heavy. And also it's hard to read in the car.
Yeah. No, true. Do you not read in the car?
Yeah, no. It's hard
I'm
to
blessed
do.
with being able to read in the car.
Wow.
It's like a newfound skill in the last 5 years. I was like, I can do this.
It's a true blessing.
It's a blessing. No, it really is, because like otherwise, I guess you drive, but otherwise, what are you gonna do in the car?
That's true.
Yeah, I guess listen to music. Some people like to do that for whatever reason. Some people like music for some weird reason.
Does Frankie Cosmos drive in a silent car?
No. I mean, we listen to music, or podcasts or whatever.
Yes.
But like, I just mean listening to music like actively, putting on headphones, like sitting in the back of the car, like. Yeah. I don't really have anything I want to listen to other than your album. I feel like I really don't listen. I don't like go on,
Yeah.
I don't discover music.
Wow, that's
my
so
discover
nice.
section is just like you, so I'm just like, I'll just listen to that instead.
Yes.
It's like I'd rather just listen to the album.
Oh, that's so nice.
But
yeah, I
guess my band listens to some music.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, we don't agree on a lot of stuff. There's like one album that we all like.
Which one is that?
Cara Bonito album.
Okay.
It's not the only album we all like, but it's the only thing that we're all like can agree on at any point.
Yeah.
We're just like, okay, let's listen to that. Like
that's so good.
Yeah.
That's good. Wow, I wonder what that album would be.
For your band?
Yeah. I'm the one that's always like playing all the rap songs though, and like being like, this is what we're listening to.
Yeah,
It's 8 a.m., but this is what we're listening to.
That's that attitude that I like. Just like, this is what we're listening to, and you can't stop me.
I'm like, this is my car.
Oh, it's your car. That's why.
And
you're driving.
Sometimes. I listen to. Do you know the band D12?
No, but I saw you tweeted about.
It's Eminem's
yesterday.
like band. I know.
Wow.
Like, fuck Eminem for a lot of reasons, but this song is so funny.
I love Eminem.
Oh yeah? Oh boy. I
mean, I did when I was a kid.
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Just a lot of that doesn't hold up for me.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't like listen to it now, but I feel like
yeah, you should check out my band.
Stan is a song that I would still put on.
Stan. I feel like
Dido.
That's what I was gonna say. I would like put on just like the Dido version.
Yeah, I mean her album like is just so
sick.
So good. Who needs Eminem on it? But
true.
But he's the front person of that band?
Yeah, kind of. And they have this song called My Band.
Is it a current project?
No,
it's like old.
No, it's old. And they have this song called My Band that it's like all the other members of the band kind of like shitting on him for being like the leader of the band.
Whoa.
And like,
and you play that in the car?
I play that in the car.
Oh my gosh. I got to listen to that. That's so funny.
It's really, really funny. I also, since they're from Detroit, I also like used it as walk-on music. last night.
Wow, do you always control your walk-on music?
Not all the time.
Oh, I should start doing
but
that.
It's
That's
fun
such a
too.
good move.
Yeah. Listen to
Wow.
Torn.
Wow.
Fifi Dobson, who I'm obsessed with. Have you ever listened to Fifi Dobson?
No.
She was like around during like Avril Lavigne time, and she was like black and punk and
Cool.
The first kind of like black girl like rock artist that was like mainstream and on TRL and all this stuff. And I was so obsessed with her. And I recently just discovered that she...
Were you obsessed with her like as a teen?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. She's so cool.
And you got back into it? Damn. Gotta check it out.
Holds up. It's
Sweet.
good. It's really
I feel like
good.
anything that like is important to you when you're a teenager, like you kind of have to love it forever.
That's what I feel about like when people get on my case about not knowing who like the Beatles are or like like Beach Boys or those bands like Metallica or something. Like I thought that
I've never heard of any of those three bands you just named.
I up until someone teased me, I thought that Iron Maiden was a clothing brand. Because like they're like Urban Outfitters sells all those shirts and it's like I saw the shirts before I knew that there was like a band called Iron Maiden.
That's so funny.
And
that makes sense.
Got teased.
I mean, Urban Outfitters is like the epitome of like bands becoming t-shirt companies. Like every band's dream is to become a t-shirt company, and I feel like Urban Outfitters helps you achieve that dream.
Really? Is that every band's dream?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It's like I remember like when I first figured that out, like I was in high school and I saw this kid in a Daniel Johnston shirt. And I was like, oh my God, you like Daniel Johnston? He was like, who? I got this at Urban Outfitters. And I was like, oh.
Wow, that is like that's a deep cut to just like be.
Well, it's because they just sell the like, hi, how are you? Like with the drawing. So it just says like, hi, how are you? And I was like, oh, you don't have to like know who it is. And they, I think Urban Outfitters like owns like the Strokes shirt and stuff. Like,
wow.
So many bands just like, I mean, it's great for them.
That's fascinating.
I feel like we could totally be in there someday.
Yeah, we should be in there.
Like Lauren's designs are so good.
They are really
why
good.
Why not? Like, why aren't they giving her lots of money? Like,
oh, we can make that happen.
Right? I don't know.
If Urban Outfitters is listening,
if you're watching this,
send us
hit
an
me
offer.
Up. No, I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other. We could totally do a whole Talkhouse about corporate money.
It's true.
It's really complicated.
We've got so many.
Yeah,
because we both manage ourselves too.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like we have like such. Maybe like a little like too much of an insight on like the business part of it.
Yeah, totally.
And then also have to like be so on for the like artistic part of it.
Yeah, I think that. Do you want to keep managing yourself forever? Like
not forever.
Not forever.
No, I don't have that. Like
yeah.
I
feel like I'm reaching like the breaking point of like it's distracting me from like making art. Like,
right.
Although Luke has really like taken over a lot of emails. Like he'll just do like all the emails with all of our like half of the team, like everyone in Europe. He'll do their
that's
interactions,
great.
and I'll just do all the American like stuff.
That's great that you can trust someone with that. And like your band is definitely like a band.
Yeah.
Whereas like mine is more like hired like musicians that I like give music to play.
Totally.
So there are limitations to what I feel comfortable asking them to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm always kind of like, I guess you don't have this if you're fine to delegate, but I always have this feeling of like, oh, I'm just going to do it better if I do it myself.
Oh, no, I definitely am really weird about delegating.
Yeah.
That's why I do all the merch.
Right.
But I've just had to like, you just have to learn to like let them.
Yeah, you have to like.
It's kind of like some people like only want to do all the driving. Like people who are just like, I need to drive. Like I can't be in the back seat. Like it stresses me out.
Wow,
are you
I
like
need
that?
A person like that. I don't only want to do the driving.
I've had bandmates like that before, but
damn.
But I feel like obviously it's not good to have one person do all the driving. Like they're gonna get tired, you know. So you gotta like delegate at some point,
right?
But yeah, it's super weird.
It's weird. Do you bring like tour managers on tour?
No, I do that.
That's so impressive.
You don't bring a tour. You bring a tour manager?
Well, I had one for Europe.
Oh, in Europe,
obviously,
we bring one. Yeah,
but like I had not like a real tour manager, but like help for this run that I'm on. Yeah,
cool.
And it's weird. I
someone who's not in the band.
Someone who's not in the band.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm surprised because you're touring a lot too.
Yeah,
and like do so much that like I don't know how you don't get tired.
You know what it is just like greediness. Like I just don't want. I don't want to have to get a bigger car. I don't want to have to like bring another person, like get them a hotel room or a place to stay or whatever.
That's
like
real.
And pay them.
Right.
Like, we just all are like, we can do this. Like, I feel like what a tour manager, no offense, but I feel like what a tour manager does is just like talk to like the venue and get like tell you where the green room is. Like it's like and get paid. It's like not that hard. And spend like 2 weeks before like interacting with the venues, which I'm fine to do that. It's like because I don't have another job when I'm home.
This
like
is
why
your
not?
full-time job. Yeah.
So
I find that I don't like interacting all that much with the venue people. It's just way too complicated all the time.
Yeah.
And
I can see why. It's like I feel like the reason that it makes sense to me to get a tour manager is because, or even just a manager, it's like the idea of being like, I am the product. Like, let's talk about me as a product together.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like, that's so weird. I'd love to have someone else do that for me so I don't have to be in that, like, room.
Right. That's the thing. I think that's what management is for me. It's like, I'm so sensitive.
Yeah,
and
same.
like, when you're clued into every aspect of the conversation before you reach an end goal of like yes or no, you just like know everything that went down before, and you're just like, I don't know how I feel about this thing or this outlet or this whatever now, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like if you have some like a buffer to just be like, you focus on that, we'll let you know like what you got to do.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
It does seem kind of amazing. But it's almost like too late for me. Like I already know. Like and then I'll just be thinking that it's even worse than it is. Like I'll think that like I don't know. I always have this weird like chip on my shoulder. Like when I go in for like I felt this way like with our last PR person. Like I was always like saying to her like I felt really scared about like any press stuff that was like felt bigger than me that she had like pushed really hard for me, and that I didn't want to know, but I like did want to know.
Right.
Like if I was supposed to feel like lucky to be there, or if I was just supposed to be like, like I'm here like to do the thing or whatever. Because I always like felt like scared that she had like pushed really hard for me, and then because she was like this really like high powered like
right. Well, I feel like I have an interesting thing about that. I like used to be the person that's very much like, I'm just glad to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
And that like is so gone.
Yeah.
Because then you put a lot of fucking work in, and then you're like, oh, I deserve to be here.
Yeah,
or like,
totally.
This doesn't seem like a thing that fell into my lap at all. Because like, even if people don't know the means that justified that end, like I know, and I know that it was hard. So like, so even if there is like a publication that you think is like too big for me, that you rallied, like they want to have you. That's why you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
And also like you deserve everything.
Thank
you.
You,
know?
you too.
Like everything.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like, it's all like, duh, you want her there.
Yeah. But there's also like, there's just a weird thing like, oh, well, we could just like replace you with like a different like indie musician or something like
weird?
To fill that, you know, void. So I don't ever want to be like a brat, but I do. I don't know. I do get like really, especially just like photo stuff. I know you did a little bit of like, editorial, like seeming like fashion-y like photos. It's so scary.
It's really
that environment
scary.
like really stressed me out.
Yeah, I'm like doing one right after my set.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And like a whole crew of people, and then me.
That's what's so scary is when there's like a lot of people who are there. Like somehow you're like, are you all here to like do my like makeup or whatever? And you
like
get there and you're like,
do your nails. I'm like, oh, I never pay my nails. This is strange.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I was really stressed out by that stuff. And it was like really fun, but I was also really just freaked out. I was like, it felt really weird to have, I don't know. And also, it's really hard to just ask for what you need. Like at a certain point, I did like 5 of those for the last album, and it was like my skin was like breaking out because I never wear makeup, and they were like putting on a lot of makeup on me and stuff. And the last one, I went in and I was like, hit to the makeup ladies. I was like, there's 2 people to do my makeup, and I was like, hey, can I like not have a lot of makeup? And they literally looked at me like. They were like so mad, and I was like, "Okay, no, just do what you want." Like I couldn't like stand up for myself in that moment. I was like, "I'm not gonna ask for like what I need. Like they're here to do their job. Like let them just like." And then of course it was like the craziest. You can't even recognize me in the picture. I have like fake eyelashes. It's the picture that went with the article that we did together. It was so crazy.
Oh my God. It was very different.
Unrecognizable.
Yeah, it was very different. I thought it was cool, but I understand why it's weird to see yourself in that way.
Or even just to be there, like shooting it.
Yeah.
Like, why am I?
Yeah. It's funny
Who wants to take a picture of my face?
It's funny how the like musician and like photo thing are so directly correlated.
Yeah.
And no one, like that's someone's job to be in front, like those are models' job to be in front of the camera,
well, also, like,
to know what to do.
They would be getting paid to be in front of the camera.
Ooh,
you know what I mean? To get made up and like stand in clothes that aren't theirs and whatever. And it's like, we're kind of not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, like, are you just kind of like using me for free labor because you like want to give, because it gives me like exposure?
Right.
But also, who's like looking up your band because they saw you in like a fashion picture? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one. So it's kind of a weird, it's a weird
better,
system.
Like, I'm down to come home with clothes. Really.
They
like,
give you clothes? I mean,
yeah.
I
ask
Really?
too. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, hey, so
what? That's so cool.
You spent 3 hours and you're like, I like this thing. Can I
I've
have
never even
it?
thought to ask. That's crazy.
Yeah, you just ask, and sometimes they give it to you. This dress was given to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a dress? I thought
By
that was two
Karen
different things.
Callahan. Yeah, it's a dress.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice.
I'm
Good for you.
I'm here for it.
See, that's why you're a good self-manager. Like, I would just be like, okay, bye, thank you. Like here, let me give you my my merch, like for free. You know,
I'll pay you.
I'll give you something. Like, I don't know. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm sure there are like, Greta's so sweet, and then they're like, can't believe Leticia thinks she can have this fucking thing.
Well, if they gave it to you, then you definitely like they probably would have just not given it to you,
Right.
you know, if
Yeah.
they didn't think you.
And obviously
could
there are
have
things
it.
that are off limits, like
like
a expensive Valentino jacket or something that is more than my rent. Like,
oh my gosh,
I don't need that.
That stuff is like, I feel like that's when it's really fun, is when they're dressing you up in some crazy clothes that you would never like buy or wear or whatever. Like, you're looking at the tags, like, what the hell?
Yeah. When you're doing those like shoots, do they ask you what your style is? And,
Oh my God, no.
Really?
Not at all.
Do they ask like what
I
you
walk
will
in like
or will
wearing
not
whatever
wear?
my clothes, and they're just like, okay, yeah, get naked. Like,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like no fur and
Really?
like yeah.
I mean, I've never been asked to wear fur.
Yeah. I just
Is fur like still in style to
I don't
anyone?
know.
Like,
I think maybe to fashion people.
yeah,
I don't know.
Damn.
But just like knowing that that's like something I won't wear, I'm like, okay, before we
Yeah.
start all this, I'm not wearing fur.
I feel like all the fashion stuff that I've been put in, I'm always like thinking that it's really not fashionable at all to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always like, this is
Your style's
fashion. Like,
just
this
different.
is really dumb.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I always get dressed up like an old lady. It's actually part of the reason I buzzed my head was because they were always making my hair look like like Trump hair, flipping it and making it all freaky.
That is
like,
disrespectful. They should not be doing that.
I was just like,
to
people
you.
didn't know what to do with my hair because I was like
Yeah.
growing out my bangs, and I was just,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't want to have anyone do my hair like ever again.
Yeah, that's real.
I can't wait to do some photo shoots and just have
I know, and
nobody
just have no
get to do
hair.
anything to me.
Right.
Like,
Maybe that'll change how they dress you
I
too.
know, maybe.
Like,
Maybe they'll dress me cooler.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they thought I was like a 100-year-old woman or something. I was
Next-
wearing these like 10 sweaters and like a big chunky necklace. Like, what are they doing? I don't know.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
God.
what fashion is
I'm
now?
just like
It's so weird.
imagining like a very
A bunch
like
of makeup, like
dressed up
really white
woman.
makeup on my face, you know, just like
Weird.
powder. Like, I don't know. I just always feel like I look
Yeah.
like an old lady in every picture.
I feel like next time you do like an editorial thing, you should just be like, you should play me.
Yeah.
Just like
Just go on
perform
and be
me.
like, "What's
Should be
up?"
like, hey, so I won't wear
No.
grandma sweaters at all.
Yeah.
And no white makeup.
No. Yeah. That's my impression.
Yeah.
Of you. I'm just kidding.
It's oh my God.
Just kidding.
No, I mean, it's kind of true. It's kind of true. But it's like, then everyone's happy, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm happy, they're happy.
happy, they're
everyone's
happy.
happy.
Yeah, that's
Like,
cool.
Everyone's happy if I'm not, like,
Yeah.
mad that I'm wearing a
Yeah. The
thing
problem
I
is
don't
that like I'm gonna be mad no matter what because I just like hate being photographed. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
you could
it's
literally
hard.
put me in like the coolest, like most me thing, and I'll just be like in the picture. You
It's
know, like
hard-
I'm never
it's
gonna
hard
be
being
like good at it.
photographed. Yeah. It's hard being photographed.
I'll often be like, "Are you sure you don't want to get someone else to do this?" Like, did I ever tell you about the photo shoot where they were asking my like this woman from the PR company like came with me to like accompany me, and they kept asking her if she was who they were supposed to do like hair and makeup on because she's like really pretty.
Oh my
They
God.
kept coming up to her and being like, "So are you next?" And she was like, "No, this is my client." Like,
Holy shit.
she like used to be a model. I was like, "Oh, yeah, like you shouldn't come with me to things anymore. Like, you're
It's
really
like,
great, but
you're-
like I can't sit next to you." Like,
Yeah.
and it was horrible.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
Weird.
But I think it's a good story.
It is a good story.
A day in the life of an indie musician, you know?
Yeah, we're talking about like the real, just like
The really weird like business side
yeah,
of stuff.
the like things that we actually do.
like when
do.
you see like an ugly picture of me, like this is the story
this is
behind
the pro-
it, you know?
process. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really strange.
It's looking at
How
photos
about
of
when
yourself is not
how
fun.
about when interviews are like, take us to your favorite place in New York? Do you ever get that?
I do.
Like,
yeah.
where do you want to meet up? And you have to come up with a different thing for like 5 different people. That's like
Yes.
your favorite place. And then 5 articles are like, Leticia's favorite place. Like
is,
the blah, blah, blah. It's like a different place than the other article.
No, for sure. I
ran out of places so fast. I was
right. There, even in New York
like, do you want to
City,
meet like
there's,
on the Manhattan Bridge? Like, I was like coming up
at
with
the
crazy.
intersection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's my favorite place.
Kind of just like my favorite places are always like expensive shit that I can't afford.
Yeah.
So I'm like, are you serious? You really want to go? Okay.
Oh, you just get them to
places.
take you out like
Hell
somewhere.
yeah.
That's so funny. That's a good move.
It's my time.
Yeah, it's nice to just be like, take me out.
Right. Especially when you know they got it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you're giving them a day or whatever.
I like don't feel bad about it.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
really don't.
like, this is probably like the coolest press thing I've ever done. Just
Me
like
too.
that I get to talk to you.
Talk to you about it. I know. It's amazing.
And you're not gonna like go write some weird scathing article about our conversation.
This is the real thing. Yeah, like this
Like,
is really
just
what we're
that,
talking
yeah.
about.
I know.
And
I wish like more things were just like purely the conversation that you had, you know, because it's easy to just take whatever weird thing I said out of context. Like, imagine like the headlines just like, no, like Frankie Cosmos impersonation of Vagabon. You know what I mean? Like, that becomes the headline of the article.
Oh
and it's
my
like
God,
some weird like.
And then I'm like the bitch of the fucking indie scene or whatever. Yeah.
So scary.
Just assertive. I'm just assertive.
Yeah. Being assertive is like such a good look.
To some people think that.
Yeah, I gotta get there. I'm almost there.
Yeah, it's good because I just feel like I'm just like very firm in like, I know what I want. I know what I can ask for. I don't ask for more than I can get.
Yeah.
And
smart.
Sometimes people just don't give you things until you ask for it.
Yeah.
Even if it's okay to give,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, totally.
So I'm just like very explicit.
It's cool.
Yeah, right?
I love that.
Thanks.
It's inspiring.
It's great. Well,
great seeing you.
Yeah.
I'll see you in France.
I'll see you in France.
Probably won't see you
before that.
But,
yeah.
Have fun at the festival.
Thank you. Yay.
Great talking to you.
Love you.
Thanks for having us.
I've been hiding in the smallest space. I am dying to go. This is not my home.
Thank you so much to Greta and Leticia for joining us on today's episode, which was brought to you in part by Shure.
And if you'd like to see behind-the-scenes photos and videos of this episode, check us out on Instagram at Talkhouse.
You can catch us on Twitter.
And of course, you can also find excellent writing from musicians like these and more at talkhouse.com.
Today's episode is recorded and co-produced by Mark Yoshizumi. Now, while we will not be with Greta and Leticia in Paris, tune in. We'll be doing Pitchfork Radio from Paris on October 31st and November 1st.
See you next time, guys.
Till then.
Later. Sayonara.
We should start filming all of our hangouts and just like sending it to the talk.
That would be a hit. I'm just saying. You say I will never change my way.